here with Camp Rhino, and I'm also here with Chris, Coach Chris, and with Rhino Heather. And you have a new thing adorning your shoulder from the last time I just looked at you 8 seconds ago. Something's changed in the last 8 seconds.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We're going to talk today about Heather and how she joined us here at Camp Rhino, and just kind of a little bit about her story. This is someone I've been watching in the gym for the last few months now, and I'm so inspired by her. And there's so many people in our gym that have reached out and said that they're so inspired by her and seeing things. And it's just a really cool situation going on between Heather and Chris here. And I just thought, you know what? So many people need to see this. So I begged Heather to get on camera, and now we're here. I didn't have to beg too hard. You were like, yeah, let's go.
No, you didn't have to beg at all.
Chris loves the camera, so we're going to be...
Yep. We're ready.
Okay.
I just gotta get used to it, like.
I know. Which way am I going here?
Yeah.
Just stay in it. Just stay in it. That's all.
Yes.
That's all we care about. Just stay in the focus.
Yeah,
Okay, so I want to start with just some really basic stuff, just to give an idea to people that are listening of Heather, why you came here, like where's your story start? Like, who are you? What do you do for a living? Tell us a little bit about like your life, your home life, your job, and what you do, and kind of what brought you to Camp Rhino to just start. And then how long have you been here?
Well, you know, I'm a mother of two. You know, two boys. One of them just turned 8 on the 1st, and then one of them will turn 4 in May. I'm also a wife to an Army veteran. He actually just got medically discharged a few months ago. And so, you know, we're still just trying to kind of figure out home life still with all of that, just because, you know, he's been in the Army now for 11, 12 years. Okay. And so, you know, to be able to go from Army to civilian, it's hard. But, you know, I'm also a kitchen manager at the Cheesecake Factory, representing right here. And
it's a pun. It's a plug.
It is a plug.
That's all right. We'll give it.
And you know, I've been with the Cheesecake Factory now for about 5 years. I've been a manager for 2.5. I believe it's 2.5. Gosh, time flies, you know. But you know, I was just kind of tired of how I was feeling about myself. You know, I think a lot of people's journeys start with that people are just tired of feeling the way they feel, looking the way they look. And I just wanted to better myself. I wanted to better myself for my kids, my husband, myself included, you know, because I was just tired of it. You know, I tried the stuff at home, but the couch was right there. You know, I'm like, oh look, a couch. I didn't want to do my workout at home. And you know, it's just coming here. You know, it took a lot of guts on my part, but I'm incredibly glad I did. You know, I came here in May, at the end of May, I believe, the 24th, and
nice.
And yeah, shoot. And I've been here ever since, and I'm loving every minute of it, every bloody minute of it.
Yeah, I if anybody's been in the building when you're training, the reason I walked out there today to get pictures was because I heard you out there laughing, and I was like, I'm gonna go get pictures of everybody. And it just like reminded me, I just love that you literally come in here and laugh like through almost your entire workout, and that's so cool. We need that.
Absolutely.
We need that. Like, we need the workouts, right? But we also just need to laugh. Like,
yes, absolutely agree.
Right now, like, we just need to laugh. I love it. I love I recognizing like what you said about why you came in and just wanting to feel better. Yeah, like that's probably 90% of the people that walk in the door, right? They just say that, like, I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of looking like this. I'm tired of, you know, not being able to do the things or be the person I want to be for my people in my life or for myself. So that is absolutely, that resonates with me. It resonates, I think, with probably most of the people that have been in our doors. You know, at some point. And I love that you decided to come in. And I know that you came because you had a friend here that recommended that you come down here.
Yes.
And she's been here for a while, so bless her. We love her for bringing you in. But you walked in the door and you did something a little different than what a lot of people do. And this is something that I think is so cool is that you walked in and you didn't like just sign up to kind of work out maybe a little bit.
No.
You signed up for 4 days a week of personal training.
Yes,
which
I did.
is no joke. Like,
No,
one-on-one with the coach's attention on you for an entire hour. This is somebody who means it. And so I know when people sign up for like 3 and 4 days a week of personal training, they mean it. They're here for change. They're here for the real stuff. They're not just messing around with it.
Exactly.
So tell me, what was your decision to do 4 days a week of personal training? How did that come up?
Well, I was looking over the sheet and everything, and I saw 1 day a week, 2 day a week, and I'm like, well, what's the point? To me, to some people, I'm sure, absolutely 1 day a week, 2 day a week, go get it. That's you. That's how you want to live. That's how you want to do your stuff. But I saw it, and I was like, no, there's no point in me coming here 1 day a week, 2 day a week if I want to actually see some change.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, there's a 3 day a week, but why not do the 4? The four is going to elevate myself. The 4 is going to, challenge myself, and basically, I guess I could say, hurry along the progression more than anything. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll be the psycho. I'll do the 4 day a week.
Why not? Why not? I love it. Well, and you're crazy busy too, right? Which is something that I think that people, it's an excuse that we use a lot. There's reality in that excuse. I say excuse lightly on that because there's very real life truth to that for people. We have lives, we have jobs, we have family, we have children and spouses and people in our lives and things that are important to us. And so it's hard to make time for that. But you're making time an hour a day, 4 days a week to come in with your coach. How hard has that been?
Oh, at first it was incredibly difficult. To balance my home life with work life, with gym life. It was incredibly difficult at first, but I've gotten into my rhythm. I come here before work. As you can see, I'm in work clothes right now. I'm ready to go to work right now. But I come here before work. I eat my lunch in my car, and then I go to work. But I'm not home all day. I don't see my family, but they're at school anyway. So, I just be sleeping anyway. So why not use my time to better myself?
I think she left out a really important variable, and she most of the time sleeps in her car before her shift. And it's something that she needs to do to like recharge herself, but also she's voluntarily inconveniencing herself too. Again, putting that priority of I need to go to the gym.
Yes.
Even though that there's things that could be shifted around or whatever, but this is vital, this is important, and this is a sacrifice that I'm willing to make 4 days a week. And
absolutely.
I've been there before, recharging myself before I go to work, but that's not like a regular thing, and she's regularly been doing that from the beginning. Yeah.
Well, and you knew what you needed to do in order to be successful with it. You found a way to make it work in your schedule where you're catching up where you need to and recharging where you need to, which is probably part of the reason you've been able to be successful with this to this day. How many sessions have you guys done now?
Today was 82.
82 one-on-one sessions, by the way, folks. That's very different. It's so different than 80. I mean, showing up 82 times for anybody is great for anything. But man, I'm just going to keep expressing that one-on-one is so different. There's nowhere to hide if you're not in a class of 20 people.
Very much so.
Like it's very much you and your coach, and your coach is 3 feet away from you. You got this. You have one more. Keep going. And it's just all you for an hour. Which is awesome. And most of us probably need that focus on us. And it's hard to ask for that. It's almost like asking for help or asking for that person to just say, help guide me, because I don't know that you knew you weren't going to do it at home. The couch was there. It was too easy to relax or whatever. it's hard. It's an ego check to say to yourself, like, I need a coach. I need somebody to just help me do this. Like,
Yes.
I need that attention on me for an hour. It's hard to ask for that. I think, especially for parents, who have children, that we put all of our focus into our kids and our spouses and, people external. And it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people to put focus internal and say, I need an hour that's about me. And so I so respect people that know that they need that and are willing to come in and say, I need that. I need that hour for me, because you can now go out the rest of your day. That's 4 hours out of your week. I don't know how many hours there are in a week, like 100, I don't know what it is, what the number is. 4 of those hours are yours, all yours. And all the rest of them, you're better for everybody else because of it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
You have to tell me about I need to know. I've waited long enough. I need to know what this is.
What's not normal about that?
Nothing at all. What do we have going on here?
Okay, so basically it's a embodiment symbology of kind of what she stands for. She's earned the title. It's our way of kind of making just fun of everything, enjoying the process, and there's hard work to be done. Not all days are glamorous, etc. But at the end of the day, we want to have fun, and we want to just smile and nod. That's kind of been
smile and nod.
There might be like a t-shirt, honestly, like between the two of us, that has gotten us through training sessions and just days. Smile and nod.
Absolutely.
Ultimately what it stands for is something happens outside of your control and you're just like, here we go. You're embracing the change, you're embracing the adaptation, and smile and nod. Let's just get it done. So so it's a tangible way of saying what she is, who she stands for.
I love that.
It's fun.
I love that. I love the smile and nod concept too. It's so necessary.
Use it. It works.
It works. It so works. Yeah. I promise.
We're gonna end up just putting that on a shirt for everybody. Put a little Rhino on it, and we could just have it say like your guys' names in honor. But it's so good. It's so true.
I've officially borrowed it, stole it. Now I'm sharing it with Heather. It works.
It works.
Well, and I love that you guys train, like you're just mentioning your philosophy in training, or not necessarily, you didn't go that deep into it, obviously, but you're saying like, we're here to work out. We're here to do it. You're here to do a thing. Like you came in here to get results and do a thing, right? At the end of the day, the results are that number one goal, because it's not about being here and being awesome inside the gym. It's about being awesome outside of the gym. And so the results are obviously like the number one, focus all the time. But there's so many things you also get out of that 1 hour session, and laughing with somebody for an hour is just so necessary. And what other areas other than physically, are there other things do you feel like you get out of it each day?
Camaraderie is one of them, honestly. You're freaking cool as hell. You're cool. It's weird to find someone just like that we have a lot in common. We truly do. And so to be able to share that with someone, it's cool. It's really cool. And the camaraderie, I've gained, confidence in myself again. I didn't, when I first started, I was not confident in myself whatsoever, and every day that I've come, it's gotten more and more and more. And, to be able to feel that again is awesome, and just to be able to say that I've done this, is great. I have some videos and pictures and stuff on my Facebook, and all my employees are like, wow, you've done that? I'm like, yeah, I did that. Or employees come up, are you working out? I'm like, heck yeah, I'm working out.
Like just a little bit.
Absolutely. Just a little bit,
Sometimes.
And so to be able to have that people are seeing this now, it's cool. It's cool. I see it a little bit in myself, but to have other people see it, it's really brought up my confidence a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Chris, have you seen changes in the confidence since you met her?
Oh yeah, like I referenced in the last video, right? Like the number one best thing to witness, having that forefront of the view, is that when people take ownership of everything they've accomplished and things they've endured, and they drive that vehicle out of the lot, and now they want it as bad as we want it for them in the beginning, right? As a coach, we're trying to surface what you're capable of, what we believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. But there's that transition that needs to, reciprocate that same feeling that, no, I've done this, I can do this. And what you say, I'm going to take to the bank. I'm going to trust in that. And I'm going to, we're going to do this together. And it's really cool, time and time again with people who work out. That's probably a really catalyst moment of when people, notice that people are mentioning or bringing up the topic of, what are you doing? Like, why are you who you are? What's your secret? And because that feels good, because we do our exercise so often, we see ourselves so often in the mirror. We'll notice subtle changes, we'll notice PRs, but when people who we work with, or we have family with, like when they notice a change, it's a big freaking deal, and it's exciting.
Very.
I think really cool also is that it's been easy. Honestly, it's been so seamless. I never have once regretted a session. I've never once not wanted to show up for Heather, and every single time. What I noticed right away is, gosh, this is offensive, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I'm like, gosh, Heather, you look tired. You look exhausted. Like, are we sure we're ready for this session? And by the end of it, she's gleaming, she's laughing, she has her head up, she's walking with tall shoulders, and it's awesome to see that literal transformation every single time of our workout. And it's been the same, and so I love that. It's been really awesome to witness as well.
And I'm sure as a coach, that's like a really, I want to say it, like a joy to work with somebody who, even when they are exhausted, right? The fact that you're even saying that means that they're there in front of you, even when they are, right? And for a lot of people, it's really, really easy for everybody to just use those moments when you're just feeling exhausted, or you've had a bad week or whatever, to get totally out of routine. And we know, because we see it happen all the time, that when somebody gets out of routine, that usually it turns into something more. It usually goes weeks and weeks before they're back in the routine. So staying in that routine is so important. So the fact that Heather shows up even when she's exhausted, I think I said that to you one day too. We were up at the front desk. I was like, "Are you okay? You look really tired today." And she says, "I am."
Yeah.
If I remember, I said, "Hug me. I'm going to try to give you some energy." And because I saw it on you, and I know what you're doing. I know how hard you're working at that, and so it has to be exhausting, but it's also so empowering, and it also empowers the rest of your life in so many great ways. It gives you so many positive outcomes that you can utilize. I don't know. I just think it's so cool. I love you guys. I love what you're doing. I think it's super inspiring. I'm so glad you're here with us. What is what's next for you guys? What's the goal right now? What's your main focus?
Well, I like I told him, I'm going as long as I can. We will hit 100 workouts by the end of the year. I think in early December.
Early December.
We'll
get 100 and some change by the end of the year.
And I want to keep on going as long as I can, basically. I'm liking the changes that I'm seeing, and why not,
Very cool.
I think for me, to make her as comfortable as possible in her own skin, just owning, again, taking more ownership of hard work. And now that we've kind of started making these, I'd say just transformational changes, well, there's always this change that needs to be reset and done every single day. And I'd say this is the first change and the last change. Like, it's just a constant reminder. And so now it's going to kind of be more of like the teaching of, like, this is how you effectively finish this workout, and more of the methodology, the psychology, and things like that. Because my ultimate goal is for her to know almost everything or everything, that I know. And so
Chris has been studying for about 12 years, so we have more time with Heather, yay!
And I just have to, while we're kind of on video, I just have to say that the best thing that I love about this is the tangible trust. Like, she is just so trustworthy that whatever I say, she does. She doesn't question anything. She just, that's awesome. Like, there's been zero resistance, and not saying like everything I say is correct. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, there is a bond and there's a obvious trust, that we have together that I haven't experienced, before. And I love that. And so every time that we, do a workout with me together, it's often been the first day, or the first training of the day. It's honestly set up my day for like success. And when I'm training someone 4 days a week, I work 6.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a large part of my day that, it uplifts me, as well. So we show up for each other.
Absolutely.
Oh, I feel like there's like a group hug here or something. That's just so cool. No, it just reminds me like there's the power of 2 different people coming together, like a coach that is ready and passionate to help somebody, and a member who comes in that's ready to change their life and is willing to trust. That's so huge, and it's life changing when that can come together so perfectly like that. So I love it. That makes me even more excited to just know what's next and to watch like where you go. And wherever you go from here, Heather, I know that you're just gonna murder everything you do, because you are willing to walk in and be like, hey, I'll be the psycho, let's go here, and you're just gonna be fearless about your decisions in your life, right? So I think that's so cool, and it makes it really fun to watch people's journeys, because they're not afraid, they're not going to be held back, and so many people get paralyzed by fear that they don't take those next steps for themselves, but you're willing to. Were you afraid when you first came in our doors?
Oh, terrified. I was terrified. I didn't know why I was doing this. MJ, love her to death, freaking do. But she's like, come on. And so I signed up, came in my first day. I'm like, this was stupid. This was stupid. Why am I doing this? Why? But I got into it. I met him. We bonded. Best decision I think I've ever made. Honestly, truly one of the best.
That's so cool.
It's awesome.
That's so cool.
Tell Jen, or tell everyone else, like a little bit of your upbringing, kind of the sad story, a little bit of what you've had to deal with. There's a physiological and a psychological, kind of battle that she's had to overcome as well to even get here, let alone to keep going. Like, she just embodies like perseverance, and resilience, to the fullest.
Yeah, when I was younger, quote unquote, 20s.
She's not in her 50s.
I'm not in my 50s, despite what the gray says.
We were just talking about how cool the gray is.
I was in, a bad relationship, like a lot of people are, which, if you're able to get out of it, kudos, like absolute kudos. And, and I was, but the relationship screwed me up mentally, physically inside. I ended up getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And so I have been battling that every day now for too long, it feels like. Decades almost. And so, having to work around that, I had gotten misdiagnosed at first. They thought I had ulcerative colitis, and so they put me on a steroid, prednisone. Mm-hmm. And if no one knows what prednisone is, you're lucky. It is a terrible steroid. I literally have ballooned up 100 pounds in a month.
Dang.
And yeah, it was bad. It messed with my psyche. It messed with my joints, my body physically, my mind, everything. And to be able to finally get my right diagnosis, get on the right medicine and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm still dealing with repercussions over my misdiagnosis.
Wow.
And so to be able to come in here, I mean, yeah, you see some of the girls in here that have the cute little clothes on and everything, and it's like, I want to wear that. I'm not going to, because of what my body looks like. I'm still not comfortable in my own skin. But I'm here just to be able to say that I'm here and to not be in pain like I was is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And um, there's days I have bad days, that I don't feel good, and that my Crohn's is, kicking my butt or whatever. I try not to let that hinder me, though. There's no point in saying woe is me. I have this disease for the rest of my life. I have to be on medication for the rest of my life. Every 2 months I have to get hooked to an IV to get intravenous medicine. I'm not going to let that stop me from living my life and living my best life. Period.
Okay. Wow, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up and had her talk about that, because that's something I think would have been terribly missed out of this story. And I do oftentimes try to find out like those deep parts of people's stories, and I wasn't even going there. So
It really highlights, just how much she prioritizes her life. If we're being real, this is to sustain life. It's to keep, people out of the nursing home prematurely. And then there's such that mental, I mean, with the COVID in the last couple of years,
right,
suicide rates, domestic violence, go on and on and on. Ultimately, they have to face that ugly side of themselves, and it's not pretty, right? And so when you have that outlet, when you have something you have a cheerleader, I'll be, I don't know the cheers, right? But I'll be here. I'll be Heather's cheerleader. But when you have something to cheer about, when you have something that gets you out of bed, something that, really holds you accountable, and now she's starting to see the fruits of it. Yeah, that's going to keep someone going till the end of time.
Absolutely.
Well, and so many different things there that could have held you back too. Like and I know that you're just barely touching the surface of each of those things, because clearly a relationship like you discussed, there's going to be, tip of the iceberg is what you just told us. And there's going to be this whole messy, I'm sure, painful story underneath that. And then there's, Crohn's, which is no joke. And anybody who's experienced a sickness like that, or chronic just illness in general, are going to totally understand what you're saying when you're talking about how that feels and how hard that is to deal with those things. But the fact that you've taken each of these things and moved forward and become stronger outside of their ability to take you down, like so many people say their pain makes them stronger, or, that the bad things that happen to us make us stronger, which it does. But what makes us stronger is getting through those things and choosing to still get up every day, even though you're dealing with those things. Right. So it's not like you don't have to solve every one of those issues necessarily. You just have to make the decision to get up every day and keep fighting. And that in itself is a win. Like that in itself is a win every day. And so many people experience that and allow it to keep them from living the life they want. Like so many, and it's easy to do that. So there's no shame in that. Like it's very easy to do that. It's also easy to come into a gym, and you very briefly even mentioned something that affects a lot of people that walk in our doors, where you come in the gym and you see other people and you go, oh, I want to look like that, or I want to feel like that, but I can't. And I can tell you from the experience of talking to almost every person that's walked in our gym that even those people have their own insecurities. Like everybody I've met has their own insecurities, and it doesn't matter how they look or anything else. We all have these lives that lead to our mental state and our emotional state that cause us to feel a certain way about our bodies or about ourselves or whatever, right? And at the end of the day, all that matters is that you knew what you needed to be better for yourself and for your people in your life, and you took action to move forward with that, and you didn't allow your limitations to keep you from moving beyond them. Like, and that, like, at the end of the day, all that matters is that you cared enough about yourself to do something. And and all the other stuff is just, it's people and it's relationships and it's fun and we love them all, but it's about you right now making your decision, and everybody has to make that decision for themselves. I'm so inspired by you. I think that a lot of people will be. I'm so grateful that you found Camp Rhino and that you and Chris found each other, because I cannot imagine a better like match for people. We have great matches in this building of coaches with their members, but you guys are just so awesome, and obviously working together 4 days a week can build on that more so than, you know, a couple days a week does. But I'm so grateful you guys are together. I'm so grateful you're here, and grateful to be able to watch your journey and be inspired by your story. I think that life is about being inspired, inspiring others, and being inspired by others. And, you know, what else are we here for than to love each other and learn from each other? And so I hope you guys continue this journey. Is there anything else we need to end with? I'm going to let you guys end this with whatever you want to say.
What's one word that describes how you felt coming from or since, you know, starting at Camp Rhino?
One word? Gosh, I don't think I have just one word, but you know, if I can think of just one, probably just empowered. You know, very much so, just empowered. That, you know, I need the decision to change, and, you know, to come 4 days a week. Just, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy than I was. Than I was.
We get there.
More empowered. I love it here. I love it here.
Awesome. You guys are so great. You guys are so great. Okay, we're going to shut this down. Thank you, anybody who stayed and watched us. We love it. Come in and see Heather sometime. I'm going to cut this off and go give Heather a hug, because I think you're such an amazing, you're an amazing woman, and you're in the office next door. They don't know that. It's all cool. So I'm going to go give these guys hugs and tell them they're awesome. But thank you guys, and we will see you in the gym, Heather.
You'll hear us.
Yes, you'll hear us too.
Do another one in like months down the road.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.